Alright guys, this is Ty. I'm going to show some bases that were attacked. Town Hall 8s. Just trying to point some stuff out, help some people out. Maybe help people make some improvements. But basically, I just went through some attacks. I was going to help Gungrave out and try to point some stuff out for him, help him out. So on this first attack, this was from last war, 2 wars ago, since our war just ended. But this is just a go wipe on a Town Hall 8. He's going from the bottom. When you look at this base, all sides are identical. The top left mirrors the bottom right. It's the same thing. Don't matter, what side it is, it looks identical. But if you look at other things, you might want to attack from a different side. For example, the air defenses. Gungrave didn't logo wipe this base, but if he was, he would want to attack where the arrow is, because he would have much better access to destroying those air defenses. And the one in the middle, he's going to get regardless when he go wipes. So, I would have attacked from the left, Gungrave attacked from the bottom. The way you spread your golems out isn't terrible. It's pretty decent. They're tanking a lot, and you can spread your wizards out fairly decent with that kind of setup. But I would have gone from the left. But another thing, like when you started this tech, I can't remember what you had in your clan castle, but just make sure you have 3 P.E.K.K.A.s when you go wipe. The only time you want less than 3 P.E.K.K.A.s if you're like a gowipe attack. Town Hall 8 can't have witches, so they're gonna have 2 in the clan castle, so you might need 2 P.E.K.K.A.s. But I would always have 3. Even at Town Hall 8, they just do so much damage, and they have so much more health than your wizards. So you started this attack, and I'm not 100% sure why, but like you put your P.E.K.K.A.s on the outside. That's not too terribly of a good idea, because 1 P.E.K.K.A. by itself isn't going to tank very long. Especially the Teslas aren't in the center, so there's going to be a Tesla around there somewhere. It's just going to tear them up. If you were going to attack in a situation like this, I think it would make more sense to put your P.E.K.K.A.s on the bottom, put your golems on the right and the left. They'll tank, the golems will tank a lot right there, take off the pressure in the middle. You're going to rage heal to the center anyways, so that all the stuff from the bottom going up is going to get destroyed right away. So it would be, it would have been better to put your P.E.K.K.A.s on the bottom if you wanted to spread them out like this. So those 2 things there. In the middle, like the clan castle, you're just kind of whittling away on them. I think your P.E.K.K.A.'s dead on the left. Your P.E.K.K.A. on the right is getting there pretty close, So, it's just better to keep them like in a group. They destroy stuff faster. They chisel through walls faster. You got your rage and your heal right in the middle. You want your P.E.K.K.A.s on your rage at all times. Especially with these walls, the purple walls, a P.E.K.K.A. can get through those right away. It's not a big deal for them. It only becomes a problem with skull walls or Lego walls. So, like someone else had to attack that base, and Randy Randerson, he attacked from the bottom as well. And, I'm not a huge fan of putting your golems that close together like this happened, but, it worked out, but, I would have spread them out maybe a little more, maybe put 1 golem on the bottom, 1 on the left, but you want your P.E.K.K.A.s together, you don't want them too spread out. I don't like how the wall breakers broke here, just 3 wall breakers, they would have bust that first wall. He obviously had a lot more wall breakers, or that wall was broke by your P.E.K.K.A. or your wizards or something, and then the wall breakers went over to the right. Over at the right, that's kind of dangerous, because they're not gonna go to the town hall. They're gonna follow the arrow to the elixir storage, and then they could go up, they could go down, and the farther they are away from that town hall, they could just kick around and keep going all the way around the base. So I try to avoid breaking walls like that at all cost, because everything's destroyed and it's all closed in. Your P.E.K.K.A.s are gonna more than likely go straight up. So Randy got in there in the middle, You know, he's got rage, he's got his heel. I don't know if he has his heel down, but he's got his rage. And, you know, the P.E.K.K.A.s in a group, they just tear the stuff up. You know, the golem's taking all the damage. You know, everything's full of life. You know, that golem's the only thing taking a beating, and that's his job, you know. So, at the end, you know, the P.E.K.K.A.s just got through the walls, and, you know, the P.E.K.K.A.s tanked, and the golems tanked, and, you know, he came out with 3 stars. So, you know, another attack. This is like a spread out base. You see this all the time, you know, where it's boxed up in the middle and they're trying to avoid you from getting to the center, whether it's with dragons or gowipe. You know, it's hard to get it to the center. When you attack a base like this, you always want to start from a corner. You know, you don't want to do it from a side, because when you drop a wall breaker, they're going to go to the closest closed compartment. So if you drop wall breakers right up at the top, very top, they're going to go directly to the middle, you know, where that blank spot is, where the Tesla probably is. You know, if you drop a wall breaker here on the side where it's flat, you know, it could go straight, it could go right, it could go left. I mean, you have no idea, you know, and there's just so many defenses there. They're going to either kill them, you know, or they're not going to go where you want. You know, it's going to be kind of tough. So Gungrave, when he attacked here, he put both his golems on the side, spread out his wizards on the side. You know, you want to attack from a corner where the asterisks are. You want your golems like right there and there, you know, so they can tank. All these defenses will shoot at the golem. You spread out your wizards, destroy all the stuff on the outside. So when you drop your wall breakers, they're going to go to the white circle, you know, and they probably won't get hit at all. Everything will be tanking, your P.E.K.K.A.s and your golems and whatnot. So, you know, right there, once the wall breakers break that pink wall, you know, immediately you want to put your rage down, you know, and if the clan castle's there already, you want to put your heel down, because the rage will kick those P.E.K.K.A.s in the high gear, and, you know, they're going to go towards the middle, you know. All this stuff should be destroyed by then. You know, what happened was, you know, there was no reason for anything to go into the middle. You know, they just followed all the way around the base. Even if you look at the P.E.K.K.A. right there in the middle, I mean, he buzzed through that wall to get the Tesla, but the only reason he turned around and went south was because of those skeleton traps. You know, he probably would have hightailed it out of there, you know, but, you know, if you attack from the corner, all these barracks will be destroyed, all the sides will be destroyed, you know, everything's just going to go straight down, more than likely, you know. So everything went all the way around, stuff got whittled away. So for an example, how to attack on a corner, you know, like a couple wars ago, this was a base, you know, obviously it's a Town Hall 9 attack, but, you know, the only difference is we got a jump spell where Town Hall 8s are forced to use wall breakers. But, you know, you want to start at a corner and you want to go straight down into that Town Hall. How do you do that? Well, you're going to drop your golems right here, you know, one on the left, one on the right. You know, I drop them there because I know that every single defense on the outside is going to be hitting those golems. You know, nothing's going to be touched, you know, behind the golems. So when I drop that when I drop that golem right there, look at, you got a cannon, you got an archer tower, 4 defenses just shooting at that golem. What am I going to do after that? I'm going to put some wizards around there. You know, that golem's going to stay alive for a good 60 seconds, you know. You know, these wizards are going to go to town, you know. So then you drop your witches, you know, Town Hall 8, you know, on a base like this, you'll have 2 witches in your clan castle, you know, and you have like 2 P.E.K.K.A.s, you know, maybe 3 P.E.K.K.A.s if you know, want, you know, 3, 2, it don't matter. I mean, they're both going to work out fairly decent. So, you know, you're dropping this stuff, and I don't care if I drop them now because I know they're not going to run around the base. You know, all these buildings are in the process of being destroyed. They're going to go straight to the corner where I want them to go from the top. You know, all this stuff on the outside is getting destroyed. And where the circles are, you know, those are going to be destroyed by, you know, before the witches run off and go around the base. You know, they have no nowhere to go except down. You drop your wall breakers, pop a hole there, put a rage there when they're close, and they're just going to keep going down. So, immediately, as soon as all the outside stuff is destroyed, they don't have to be all the way destroyed, As long as you got wizards behind them, stuff's tanking, and they're going to be gone in about 3-4 seconds, drop everything you got. Pekka, 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 heroes, 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 clan castle. You just dump it off there, right in there, and you don't care. I mean, gowipe is all in attack. You don't drop one, wait a while. Oh, I think this is right. Wait a while, drop one. Oh, I'm gonna wait a while, drop one. It's all in. You want every single troop you have in your main attack under your spells. You don't want one golem under a rage and a heal. You want 3 golems. God, I can't think right. You don't want 1 P.E.K.K.A. under a rage and a heal. You want 3 P.E.K.K.A.s under a rage and a heal. You don't want 2 witches under a heal. You want all 4 under a heal. So they get in the middle. You rage. Try to get them in the middle. Right in the middle, you just rage heal, because they're going to sit there and kill everything in that circle, everything in the center. So, I mean, it's pretty effective attack, even for Town Hall 8s. You go wee a base, and at the end of this base, I mean, what did I have left? I had 4 witches still alive, queen still alive, wizard still alive, It's a solid attack. So, on our war we just finished with, if you look at this, like this kind of base, yeah, you want to go wipe this base, because dragons will go all over the place. It'll be kind of tough. But when you go wipe this base, I mean, you want to spread out your golems as much as you can. You don't want them to clump together. So when you're thinking of places to put your golems, you want to spread them out more. Like in this base, you don't want to put them 2 compartments together, because they could get very close together. They will tank less. You want to put the golems like where the big circles are, so they're more spread apart. You want a wall breaker on the corners, or you could wall breaker somewhere, on the flat, straight part. But, if you wall breaker on the corner, it's going to go to a corner. They're not going to split off and go to different sections of the walls. These walls, 2 wall breakers would break them. Yeah, a Tesla could pop up and ruin it, but I mean, there's not much outside anyways. I mean, they're going to get through there one way or another. So, Gungrave, I think he went too close. The 2 compartments, he could have spread it out more. But look at this. You're doing your rage spell right now. Everything outside is destroyed. Everything outside is destroyed. You poke the holes in the walls. Stuff's going down. And you've already dropped your rage. And I mean, look what stuff you haven't dropped, man. You got 11 wizards. You got 1 P.E.K.K.A. He's your king. You got your king. You want all of that stuff down, doing some work. Everything's tanking for them. They're taking damage. The longer you wait, the worse it is. It's all in or nothing. It doesn't matter if you wait till later. You're not going to have anything to tank for it. So stuff just got clumped together, which kind of you're trying to avoid on a base that's spread out like this, because with big compartments, you want stuff to move around and kill everything as fast as you can. If everything's in one spot, they're gonna do it half as fast as if you had 2 different packs. Even if one pack is smaller than the other, 1 golem with 3 wizards behind it can still do a ton of damage. I mean, they'll destroy a ton of stuff. And they're all going to the same place. They're going from bottom up. I mean, eventually they're going to come together somewhere, and they're going to tank for the other half, and the other half is going to help out the other half. So, got to the middle, which was pretty good, but stuff just died off too much. I mean, this base is kind of tricky. It was a good attack, but I'm just trying to offer suggestions. So on the next attack you did, Gungrave, again, you should probably spread them out a little more, the golems. But everything's got to be quick. It's got to be golem, golem, wall breaker, wall breaker, wall breaker, wall breaker, wall breaker, wall breaker, you know, on the corners, you know, it's immediately golem, wall breaker, wizards, all the way around. Poke the hole, you know the stuff on the outside is going down. Pekka, hero, clan castle, you just drop it all down, you know. You just make sure you have a couple extra wizards behind a golem that isn't your main attack. So, again, like stuff got clumped up. You know, the golems went in together, which you kind of want to avoid. I mean, there's a giant bomb that don't help anything. So, another thing on this attack, you know, like, there was no P.E.K.K.A.s at all. You know, a ton of wizards just isn't going to do it. I mean, they die off of 3 hits from some defenses, you know. Like, you have to have your P.E.K.K.A.s. 3 of them. If you're going to go wipe, 3 P.E.K.K.A.s minimum. Minimum. If you have witches in your clan castle and the base is spread out, maybe 2 P.E.K.K.A.s, you know. But, you know, if you're giving up a P.E.K.K.A., I mean, you better be putting in a golem, something that's going to actually tank and help out, not extra wizards that are going to die relatively fast. So, I mean, stuff just kind of fizzled out. You had way too many wall breakers. I mean, you need 3 wall breakers to poke a hole for 1 golem, 3 wall breakers to poke a hole for another golem, and screw it. After that, you know, I mean, they're kind of useless, which kind of what happened here. So this is the attack that I did. Yeah, I mean, it's probably an easier base. You know, it was a lower base, but, you know, the same kind of design, same concept that you did in Gungrave. So here, you know, I spread out my golems, you know, 1 on the left, 1 on the right, and I'm going to wall breaker right in the middle. You know, if I had to do the attack over again, I probably would have wall breakered the corners, like I was saying before, but for whatever reason, I did it like this. But you spread them out far enough, you know, where you know that they're not going to come together right away. So, poke the holes in the walls, you know. There's no wizards out at all. Golem, wall breakers, you know. You do it really fast. Everything got in. Everything's tanking for everything, you know. Even though there's no golem on the top anymore. I mean, it died or whatever. I mean, at least I got a P.E.K.K.A. and a king up there tanking for a lot of stuff. On the bottom, you got a golem and a P.E.K.K.A. tanking. There's just so much more stuff still alive. Both witches are alive, you know. And, you know, at the end, you know, they just overrun the base. So that's the end of the videos of the gameplay I have. So basically, you know, some bases, you want your golems closer together. Spread out bases like this, I mean, you want them spread out apart, you know. You don't want them on opposite ends of the base, but you want them spread out. So the wizards, you know, can kill more stuff. The golems can tank more. Just remember, when you attack a base, you know, things are going to target the highest level of troop that you have. For example, if all your troops go towards a cannon, it's going to target your golem first, obviously. I mean, we wouldn't use golems if they didn't tank, if they weren't the first thing that defenses targeted. Things like Teslas, they'll go after the P.E.K.K.A. first because that's their favorite target. But, you know, when you have witches out, you know, they're going to target, you know, the strongest troop you have. So, you know the cannon's always going to shoot, you know, a wizard. Once that wizard's dead, it'll change its target to the next thing that's the highest troop that you have in range, which would probably be a witch or another wizard. That's why when a town hall attacks a town hall 10 and their infernos are on a single target, you don't really want to use freeze spells, because when you freeze it and it thaws out, it'll choose a new target, and it's going to target your highest level troop in range, which is usually a hero, your P.E.K.K.A., a golem, something you don't necessarily want to lose right away. So, I mean, that's why in gowipe attacks, you don't really want to use freeze spells, because the first thing running in there head first is all the skeleton traps. So you want that inferno targeting the skeletons, you know, if you freeze it and it thaws out, it's going to ignore the low level stuff and just go after your high level stuff. So, I mean, I'm just trying to help with these replays and stuff. So, I mean, if you have any questions, let me know. And I mean, I can make another video after a couple wars. And I hope it helps for you guys.